You clicked on this video because you want to make money. Like whether that be, through in-person or online means, like it doesn't matter the industry. You clicked on this video because you want to make money, and whether, to the extent or not, you somewhat understand that mindset plays a majority role in actually becoming the person that can make the money, right? You don't want to become, you just want to be. So in this video, I'm basically going to be talking about everything that I've used as far as physical, metaphysical realms, visualization, paradigm shifts. Like we're going to get pretty niche and deep here. So put your phone away, put it on airplane mode, open up a Google Doc, take some notes, rewatch this video if you want, or even better, what helps me retain information the most, because this is going to be very valuable and you need to retain this, especially if you're going to give me your time to watch this video. There's no point in watching the video if you're not going to actually remember what I'm talking about. So take out like a notebook and actually physically write it down, because that helps me remember stuff. But honestly, it's up to you. So today I'm basically going to be talking about a lot of different things: visualization, physical realms, metaphysical realms, desired realities, frequencies, paradigms. Like we're going to get niched and we're going to get pretty deep. So first thing I want to cover, and the reason I have this pulled up, it's the vibrational energy chart. So I'm going to cover pretty much all of these really quick. Highest is enlightenment, lowest is shame. So we have first enlightenment, peace, joy, love, reason, acceptance, willingness, neutrality, courage, pride, anger, desire, fear, grief, apathy, guilt, and shame. So this is going to be like frame of reference, and I'm going to come back to this and kind of talk to you guys, and I'm going to have, in-person examples of how I personally use this in my day-to-day life. So in my personal opinion, I think making money is like 80 to 90% mindset. Like the work is definitely there, but I really think like we are just spiritual beings manifested in flesh. I mean, it's like everybody, I don't know. I feel like everyone knows that, but I don't think everyone is conscious of that. So you can go and do your own thing. Like I'm going to cover this right now. Okay. So this is going to be the frame of reference, vibrational energy chart. So what I basically used to do is I used to visualize. Now I used to do two things of manifesting, right? Here's me. I think this was 2023 or something. Now, a little bit backstory for me personally. I made, six figures at 16, and I blew it all. I spent it all, and I got super depressed. I was in the lowest frequency. It was the worst 6 months of my life, and I had no friends. I was alone. I almost, ended it multiple times. It was a very bad situation for me, but I still understood the importance of mindset. To the extent, not as much now, but, I was still doing things like manifesting. So here's basically what I want to talk about, okay? So you have two things. Humans are like intrinsically programmed for worst case scenarios. Okay, I want you guys to understand that. So humans, like let's say this is you, okay? So let's say this is you. Humans are intrinsically programmed for worst case scenarios. And that's just because we're cavemen, right? At the end of the day, we're still monkeys. We have the caveman brains. So intrinsically, you're going to be always thinking about a worst case scenario. But if you can consciously go out and think about a best case scenario or this or that, you're going to make, it's not like all about money, but I guess the one, reference here I'm going to use for this video is money. So you're going to make more money because everyone wants money. I mean, that's why you watch the videos. So I want to cover two things, right? In reality or in life, right? You have two different planes, okay? So you have physical and you have metaphysical. And I'm going to cover what both of these are, okay? So metaphysics teaches us that reality isn't something outside of you. It's simply a projection. Okay, so you have two planes of reality, physical and metaphysical. Basically, physical could be something like this, to where I'm going and I'm manifesting, or I'm going to, this watch dealership. I don't know if you guys are into watches. I'm pretty into watches. So this is a Jaeger LeCoultre. So it's a pretty cool watch. It's for polo players. It's a skeleton, pretty cool. It flips out. You could turn it up and around. I'm not going to get too nerdy here, but I really liked his watch. And at the time I really wanted it, but I didn't have enough money for it because I went broke. So I had to go back and I wanted to, manifest this. So I tried that on to get on the frequency. And basically, this is what I want to talk about. Here's this screenshot, okay? May 21st, 2024. And I had to block some stuff out, but I pretty much understood the importance of metaphysical reality. And I wrote down on my notepad, which I do, pretty frequently, I wrote supercar frequency, Croatia yacht trip. These were like a couple goals. I had like a whole little doc written for, the next 3 years. So the reason I wanted to go on a yacht trip so bad is because I saw in Croatia, Andrew and Tristan Tate do it. And, at the time I was really big, like fans of theirs and whatnot. So I saw them do a yacht trip in Croatia. It looked so fun. And that was like a really, really, really big goal of mine, and supercar frequency. So fast forward to this year, I've already gone to like 12 different countries. I've done like probably over 50 flights already. Here's me a month ago on a yacht in Croatia. And then here's me in Miami holding a fucking rocket launcher in front of two McLarens. They're not rentals, by the way. You can look those up. They're not rentals. With a fucking rocket launcher. So if this is not like direct, like tangible evidence and proof that what I'm going to talk about is like actual, there's use case for it, I don't know what is. So I've essentially manifested everything in my life down to a fucking T. Like I used to, a good thing of, what I used to do is I used to go on an Airbnb, and I used to look at Airbnbs I wanted to stay at. And this was even like 2 years ago. And, sometimes I sat there and I realized, holy shit, every single Airbnb that I looked at 2 years ago, I stayed in. Like I used to get go around for like a week here, a week there, a week here, like all around LA. And I would just get Airbnbs for like a week at a time. I would Airbnb hop. And every single one, or at least like 75% of the time, they would be ones that when I went back into my viewed or like my wish list from 2023, I had them saved, which is fucking crazy. So let me go back to metaphysics, okay? Metaphysics teaches us that reality isn't something outside of you. It is a projection, okay? Let me freaking move this one thing over real quick. So metaphysics teaches us that reality isn't something outside of you. It's simply a projection. Have you ever seen a dog that's like trained with like an invisible fence that has like the shock collar? So let me kind of draw this out. Have you ever seen a dog, right? And I'm not going to draw a dog, bro, because my drawing skills are terrible. So here's a dog, and the dog has like a set, I'll just do this for the dog. So a dog has like, a set boundary, right? He has a shock collar on, and if he goes out here, then he gets shocked, okay? We all know that. So that's how most of you guys are operating in your life. And you go around and you have these belief systems, you have these paradigms, and you think that life is supposed to be this. Or at the end of the day, what you guys need to understand is that everyone lives in a bubble, right? Like whether you like it or not, you don't know what life could be because you've only lived your life. I'm giving you guys my advice because I've lived my life and it's worked for me, which is why I can sit here with authority and tell you guys, why it works. You've only lived your life. You can only see the world through your eyes and come up with ideas and make decisions through your own personal experiences, right? So at the end of the day, the moment and this is what the invisible fence is. You're this dog in the invisible fence, and the invisible fence is your personal experiences, right? It's your paradigm. So if you've never made $1 million in a month, you're never going to think that making $1 million in a month is possible. That's that, right? If you believe something is impossible, you won't even try. So you have to understand that you are biased. You live in a bubble. You live in your own little world, and your entire decision-making processes, your paradigms, your belief systems, all comes down to your personal experiences. You don't know shit. I don't know shit. That's the thing. I only know my life through my things, through my personal experiences. So the brain can't tell the difference between visualization and reality. Okay, your thoughts, your energy, your beliefs, they bend your world around you like gravity. This is what I call a paradigm. So everything under a paradigm is essentially paradigm. So everything under a paradigm is going to be this, right? It's going to be your belief systems. Let's do BS. Your belief systems, it's going to be your perspective, it's going to be your it's going to be your decision making. Let me write this back down. It's going to be your belief systems, your paradigm, your perspectives, your decision making, your experiences, etc. So this also comes down to everything you've been told in your life, right? If you break this down, people are going to tell you things in your life, and if somebody has a position of authority to tell you something, like for example, a teacher, a brother, a grandparent, a parent in general, stuff like that, if you give that person most people tend to give other people, their advice a sense of authority when they don't have tangible proof on why they should listen to them. For example, like in this video, I'm giving you tangible proof right here because I did this and I gave you the notes and I gave you this. But let's say somebody who doesn't have the life you want gives you advice. Why are you going to listen to them? Because they don't have the life you want. It's pretty simple. So the moment you can understand that everyone lives in a fucking bubble, and anytime somebody is like giving you pointers or criticism or anything like that, it really just comes down to, I'm sorry, I don't live my life the way and you'd prefer. So now I want to get to some pretty deep stuff, okay? So visualization and dreams. Your brain cannot tell the difference between a dream and reality. So let me kind of draw, actually, no, I'm not going to draw that out. Your brain can't tell the difference between a dream and reality, because when you're visualizing, it's not necessarily you are going to visualize and feel, let's say you want a Lamborghini. You're not going to visualize the Lamborghini and touch the thing and smell the smell. Like, it's specific. Obviously you have to get specific, but your brain only resonates with the feeling. Okay? Success doesn't come from grinding or controlling, it comes from aligning. And you need to align yourself with the feeling of what you want. Okay, so it's like catching a wave, it's like a flow. You need to get on the frequency. It's a flow of energy that naturally carries you towards your goal the moment you let go of struggle. So that's why visualization, when done right, can make you fuck you money. It will make you infinite money. So visualization relies strictly on a feeling. It doesn't rely on the material objects because that's strictly in the physical realm. Like we talked about, we have physical and we have metaphysical. So when you're visualizing or when you're trying to manifest whatever the fuck it may be, you have to rely on the metaphysical realm. Physical is completely irrelevant, okay? You can't rely on, what it would be like what it feels like to drive the Lamborghini because that's strictly physical. You don't want to envision, the G-force of when you do when you hit the gas or like when you do a launch control. You want to visualize, how am I going to feel once I have the Lamborghini, or once I have what I want, once I have my desired reality, once I have my dream life. And the moment you can sit there and acknowledge and appreciate, the feelings, like whether that be good, whether that be sad, whether that be, feel like, you kind of just have to envision a song. Like imagine if you have a song that, makes you feel like a specific feeling. Try and play that song while you're visualizing, if that makes sense. So, I have a certain song that I listen to sometimes that makes me feel like I kind of made it. So sometimes I'll listen to that and I'll visualize. You really just have to think about the feeling. And that's the biggest fucking thing that I see with people that are trying to visualize or manifest a desired reality is they visualize the physical realm. They don't think about how they're going to feel or what their future will look like. That's the problem. So your brain can't tell the difference between a visualization and reality. I want you guys to understand that. If you visualize something, it is real. That's all that, like, I can't stress that enough. So most of you guys have never visualized in your life, and this dog for its entire life is operating in this fucking box, right? The moment you realize that the fence was never real, the walls were made of thought, and you hold the key in your mind, that's when you make all the fucking money. That's when you get whatever the fuck you want. That's when you get the girl you want. That's when you get the wash you want, the car you want, to live wherever you want. That's all it is. So going into the metaphysical realm and manifestation and whatnot, and going back to this picture, basically what you can do is you can go into nice shops. And this is what I tell, people in my group to do, or this is what I tell, even just friends to do. And this is what I used to do as well, hence this picture. Money or abundance is a frequency. Understand that? So money and abundance is a frequency, okay? Success doesn't come from grinding and controlling. It comes from aligning. So go to nice shops and sit in fancy cars. And like I said, your brain can't tell the difference between a visualization and reality. Same way your subconscious can't understand if you go to rent a Lamborghini for the day because that's your dream. If you go rent your dream car for a day, your subconscious can't tell the difference whether you own it or not. All your subconscious knows, or the metaphysical realm knows, is that you are in that fucking car, and for that 24 hours you have that rented car, you are on the physical, like you are on the frequency of that. You're on the frequency of abundance. Now, when I go and I drive supercars, I think of more of it as a burden sometimes. Like if you guys are into cars, McLarens, are kind of, they're super fun to drive, but it's like, if McLarens are unreliable. So it kind of comes down to, I'd much rather, get driven or have like a nice Mercedes opposed to have to fucking every single time for like spend a day. And it's fun, sure, but it's like, the small inconveniences, this, sensor's going off and it's beeping and, we're in a bumpy road. Like there's so many, I think I've done it enough, and this is not a flex. I've done it enough and I'm on the frequency enough to where it feels like a regular fucking Tuesday. So I get to choose. I have to sit there and debate. Most people, if I gave them the option, hey, do you want to go ride in a fucking McLaren today? They'd be like, yes, please. No, I sit there. I have to fucking think about it. Right? Like I went to Paris. So I was out in fucking Europe for a month and a half. Then I came back for a couple days and I went back out to, went to Rome and Paris again. Vlogs are on the main channel, by the way. Just look up Smith Reese. You can check those out. Shameless plug. But I literally had to, it felt like more of a chore. Most people, they would do fucking anything to go to Europe for 2 months straight, or do a yacht, or go to Paris and stay in the city center and ride around in Mercedes Sprinter vans all day. You have to get on the fucking frequency. So what I'm trying to talk about here is enlightenment, peace, joy, love, reason, acceptance. Okay. Most of you guys are on courage, or no, you're on neutrality or under, right? So you operate in pride. You don't allow your ego to take a hit. You operate in desire. You operate in, I need something, because what happens when you need something, you put excess potential towards it. And what happens when you put excess potential towards it, you're chasing butterflies. It's going to run away from you. Okay. So you want to operate in peace, joy, love, reason, acceptance. Once you can accept your situation, once you can operate on joy, peace, and abundance, everything is going to come to you. I want you guys to understand that. So personally, what I do, right? And this is another thing. Personally, what I do is I listen to 432 hertz frequencies every single morning while I meditate. Now, what's the difference between 432 hertz and regular music? 90% of music, or actually no, 100% of music is made in 440 hertz. Now, that's going to put you in a lower vibration frequency. Why do you think that people talk about, oh yeah, rap music or this or that, which I listen to rap music, right? I'm a big Yeet fan personally, but at the end of the day, it's not going to attract abundance 100% of the time, right? So I will literally have 432 hertz playing out of my speakers for the first 3 hours of the day. I don't listen to any other music. I just have that playing. Even when I do my meditation, my visualization, I have that playing because you know why? 432 hertz, it's more harmonious with your brain frequency. And it's going to put you on the top four levels of vibration. Okay? That's what I want you guys to understand. So go to nice shops, go to sit in like a dealership, go to fancy cars. If you own it, it doesn't matter. Your brain is in alignment with the frequency of those nice things. Your subconscious can't really tell if it's a rental or not. Okay? You guys got to stop operating on the caveman brain of like, you can envision the best case scenario. People don't understand, bro. Like, you can, and I know this is going to sound super simple, but the moment you understand how to control the metaphysical plane of your life, that's when you get the desired reality you want. And most people don't sit there. Like, most people sit there and think that life is cut out for them. The moment you don't believe in free will is the moment you give your life to something that doesn't exist. You let something else control your actions and your mission or your purpose or what your life could be. I sat there in my room crying one night. One time I was so lonely when I was like, I went back to broke again. I had to shave my head. I was so lonely one time. I was crying my eyes out. I had to call my buddy up and I was embarrassed as fuck. So I called him up and then I felt even more alone after that because he was like the only guy I could call. I was so lonely that night. I hugged the clothes in my closet, bro. And you know what I did? I sat there and I fucking thought to myself, because I've read, there's a book called Reality Transurfing and it's fantastic. But I've read that book probably 4 times. And I think it is 80% the reason of my success. And what I want to talk about is people think that life is cut out for them. People think that there's no such thing as free will. People think that there's no such thing as you can go make your own fucking reality. Like, if you think about it, what's stopping me from going outside, taking my shirt off, dancing for 4 hours straight? Nothing. I can go do that. It's not illegal. It's not immoral. No one's going to stop me from dancing on the sidewalk shirtless. There's people do that all the time, right? If you think about it, tweakers are like crackheads are on a higher sense of free will and frequency than you. They don't give a fuck what other people think. Not to say that you go be a crackhead, but you see what I'm saying? You guys are stuck in this fucking box, this invisible dog fence, because you put your own shock collar on yourself of limiting beliefs, self-beliefs. You don't fucking visualize. You don't know what you want. The moment you have clarity is the moment you can actually envision it, visualize it, and fucking achieve it and materialize it. Materialization is completely different, but that's the same plane of metaphysical. I want you guys to understand that. So most people, they don't even believe that you guys can go and do shit, right? You know that. You know you can go just make a Shopify account, start drop shipping, and within a year be making $30,000 a month, as long as you did your best. You guys understand that, right? You know you can go and make YouTube videos like I am now and then have people watch that shit and then give people value so they subscribe, which you should if you found this valuable. You guys see what I'm saying? People don't do shit, get shit. That's really all it is, bro. You do shit and you get shit. You do things and you get stuff. And I don't know why people don't understand that. Like, you can go and make your own desired reality, which is what I've done, today. Like, I operate on, obviously I can't, it's not safe to say you can operate 24/7 on the highest frequency, but I understand the importance of frequencies. Frequencies are people as well. I don't hang out with people that are low frequency. Does that make sense? There's a lot of people that carry, think about this in your life. There's a lot of people that come around, they carry negative frequencies, and they probably don't have any benefit to you. I'm not saying that, hanging out or having friends is simply a transactional mean. But what I am saying is that if somebody is completely negative and when you hang out with them, you do realize that your conscious is on a lower sense of vibration, why the fuck would you hang out with them? So kind of what I want to talk about is, I guess, wrapping up the video, understand the difference between physical and metaphysical. And the biggest research like the biggest research tool that you can use is ChatGPT. So I'd highly suggest all of you guys go, maybe plug this video into it or one of my other videos into it and say, hey, can you give me a sum up of notes from this video? Or say, hey, can you talk more about this specific topic that he talked about in this video? Or even just some of the terms like paradigms, frequencies, vibrations, energy, like physical, metaphysical, all this kinds of stuff, visualization. Go ask ChatGPT. You have the infinite resource of literally everything ever put on the internet, every piece of knowledge in history, a matter of fact, and you're not utilizing it, okay? You can go do that. But I just want to put this into perspective for you guys on how easy it is to go just get the shit you want, bro. Like, everything is there. McLaren's always making cars. There's always going to be yachts in the fucking water, ready to be chartered in 90% of countries. It's literally there. You just have to go and fucking do it. So I want to end this video off with kind of just giving you guys like a little note. You can go and do shit. Whatever you want to do, you can go and do. There's no, like, you're operating like the fucking dog with his invisible shock collar on. There is nothing stopping you from going and getting whatever the fuck you want. Stop operating on a caveman brain. Evolve. Get to this level of actualization to where you realize, well, shit, I have the internet and I have a somewhat competent brain because you made it to the end of this video. I can do whatever the fuck I want. Like, there's literally nothing stopping you except this invisible fucking dog, except this invisible fence. Fucking just leave the fence. Take the collar off. I have videos like this on my main channel as well. If you want to check some of those out as well, I have a mindset video. I have a bunch of stuff on the main. I'm not going to sit here and plug that the entire time. But please understand this. You can plug this video in ChatGPT. I hope you guys got value from this video. I'll probably drop a much more in-depth video like this very soon, basically talking about, habits that I've used. But yeah, if you got value from this video, drop a like. If you got value, drop a sub. Maybe leave a comment for any questions about, like, I'm gonna answer all the comments on this video. So if you have any questions about, this or what I talked about in the video or what I do personally, feel free to drop a comment. I'll reply. If you want to work one-on-one with me, just check the link in the description or not. I don't care.